Welcome to reality. You're now on the Code of Mind channel. Today I want to share something I've been practicing for the past 2 months, and it has repeatedly confirmed itself in real life. You often hear that people come into this world for experience. But have you ever wondered how that actually works? Our life is not a chain of random events. It is a set of rigid programs and scripts that we ourselves activate. Your relatives, friends, enemies, they are not just people. They are mirrored holograms loaded by the system to highlight your internal settings. Every gesture, every word, it is part of the lesson. But we get stuck in these lessons because we forget the most important thing: who is projecting this film. Understand this clearly. Any program in your life, whether it's conflict with loved ones or a financial dead end, is completely dead until you give it life. You are the power source. The moment you focus your attention on a problem, you begin illuminating that hologram with your energy. You are the projector. Your attention is the beam of light. Where that beam falls, reality solidifies and begins to affect you. You make the script work against you simply by agreeing to believe in it and emotionally investing in it. It is a closed system where you are the victim, the executioner, and the only source of energy. So why does all this exist? We are here to realize our full absolute, to understand that we are not characters inside the film, but the ones creating it. The moment you stop feeding the familiar script, when you simply observe it without involvement, the hologram begins to flicker and dissolve. It is an incredible feeling of control. You see the old script forming. You recognize its patterns. You smile at it from the depth of your being. And in that second, you are free. You can rewrite the script in real time. You simply redirect your focus, and the system is forced to instantly change the scenery. You are no longer playing life. You are broadcasting it. So how do you do this in practice? How do you turn off what has been controlling your reactions for years? I'll share my method. In 2 months, it has never failed. In any situation, whether it's an escalating conflict with loved ones, rudeness in a line, or an internal wave of anxiety, I take one step back inside my own consciousness. I simply observe it from the outside. At the exact moment the system expects me to flare up, get offended, or start defending myself, I say internally, "Stop. This is a program." I literally register the glitch. I ask myself, why was this experience loaded for me right now? What energy is the system trying to extract? And in that same fraction of a second, something shifts. When you recognize the program, it loses its power over you. It has nothing to feed on. You won't believe this, but scripts that once lasted hours and poisoned the entire day now end in a split second, not minutes, a moment. As soon as I see that it's a script and observe it consciously, reality makes a sharp turn. Everything flows into a completely different direction, one that previously never existed. People who were radiating aggression suddenly stop, change the topic, or walk away. The system glitch resolves because the observer detected the code. The main secret is this: I clearly see what is happening inside me at that moment. I see how the program tries to pull the strings of my old habits. And in that instant, I begin thinking about something completely different. I don't fight the program. I simply change the channel. I look at the glitch with curiosity, sometimes even with a quiet smile. I understand it's another bug in the simulation, an attempt to push me back into the cage. But my focus is no longer there. I remain inside my center, inside my absolute. And when my inner world remains still, the external hologram is forced to adjust. This is true reality management, not changing the world, but refusing to support its errors. The most energy-consuming and complex programs are always written into the people we love. This is not bad fate or your mother's difficult personality or your partner's temperament. From the system's perspective, your loved ones are ideal transmitters. Why? Because they have full access ports to you. You are completely vulnerable. Your emotional shields are down, which means any destructive script can be injected and maximum energy extracted. Have you ever noticed how a close person always hits the exact nerve? They say the one sentence that makes your vision darken. That is not coincidence, it is automatic code matching. A code. The system scans your pain points and transmits through the body of someone close to you the exact signal you are programmed to react to. It is a perfect trap. You think you're arguing with your mother. In reality, you're confronting an algorithm testing your awareness. Imagine a classic scene. A family dinner. Everything is fine until the system decides to test your observer level. Suddenly, as if on command, the conversation turns to your mistakes, how you're living incorrectly, your future. You feel the heat rising in your chest, anger or hurt expanding. The feeding has begun. The lesson program is activated. Before you would explode, you would argue, defend yourself, shout. You would drain liters of life force into an empty hologram. And the result? Exhaustion for you, victory for the program. But now you take a breath. You lean back in your chair. You activate the observer's vision. You look at the person across from you and say internally, "Stop, program." And something extraordinary happens. You stop seeing them as enemies. You see a shell transmitting a script. You understand. They are not saying these words to hurt you. The system is using them to search for your trigger. Since you no longer feed the scenario, the system has no reason to continue it. But the algorithm cannot simply stop mid-sentence on, that would look suspicious. So the matrix begins patching holes in real time. The person who was spewing poison seconds ago suddenly stops. Emergency topic switch. The system quickly loads a neutral file to prevent your full awakening. You just neutralized a multi-year script in a split second. You saw the scenery crack. Loved ones are our best trainers. The stronger they trigger you, the more hidden absolute exists inside you, and the harder the system tries to restrain it. Thank them. They show you exactly where you are not yet free. Understand one crucial thing. Reality is lazy. It will not waste computational power on what does not bring profit. And the system's profit is our emotions. Any enemy, toxic coworker, or neighbor who has been ruining your life for years is a complex, resource-consuming object. The system must render their personality, facial expressions, their logic of negativity, and most importantly, synchronize them with your personal space. But why would the system do this? The answer is simple. We pay for this rendering with our attention. When we get angry at that person, when we replay yesterday's argument in our minds or rehearse tomorrow's response, we are literally transferring energy into that object's account. We are telling the system, "This matters to me. Continue rendering." And the matrix continues, making the enemy more solid, more intrusive, more real. The moment you stop paying with attention, that person becomes a junk file in the system. They no longer generate profit, no emotions, yet resources are still required to render them. What does an efficient engine do? It deletes them. In reality, this happens naturally. The person is suddenly transferred to another department. They unexpectedly quit. They go on indefinite sick leave. Or they simply stop crossing your path, even if you work in the same office. They become transparent. Their code no longer intersects with yours because you have exited the game. Without your fuel, the enemy hologram collapses, freeing space for the scenarios you consciously choose. With relatives, it is more subtle. They are not background characters. They are core nodes of your personal code. If a random person can simply vanish from the frame, loved ones are part of your shared operating memory. When you stop feeding their programs, the system cannot delete them. It must rewrite them. The moment you say internally, "Stop, program," and refuse to react, one of two things happens. Either they physically distance themselves without clear reason, or, more astonishing, they permanently forget the very topics that used to trigger you. The script they played for years simply disappears from their current cache, because you are no longer financing the show. You release them from the role of executioner, and the system is forced to load silence mode. When you stop the program, you are not just ending an argument, you are making an instantaneous jump to a branch of reality where that argument never existed. This is real-time script control. The most powerful insight of all is what remains when the programs are turned off. We are so used to reacting that we have forgotten what it feels like simply to be. When you stop script after script, you finally hear the voice of your true self. You walk down the street in total mental silence. You see people around you. You understand their patterns. You see how they move inside their scripts. But you are no longer inside them. You are in the center of your universe. And in that moment, you feel you can do anything. If you choose, reality delivers the money you need. If you choose, the right person calls on their own. This is the state of the absolute, where you are no longer the battery but the operator. You begin to feel how the world breathes in rhythm with your calm. You are no longer learning lessons. You begin dictating which experiences you want to live. This is pure attention mechanics. I am sharing this because my reality has become pliable, like clay. I stopped fighting shadows. I started controlling the projector's light. Try this today. When the system hooks you through loved ones or circumstances, pause. Track the program, smile at the absurd script, and observe which new world you awaken into. I'm waiting for your stories in the comments. It's time to rewrite this code together. Thank you for being with me on this channel. I wish you the best possible branch of reality. Subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video. Take care.